Okay, Mike. So you've mentioned that you can clean things up. So when you're saying clean things up, does that mean that the person's actually able to handle whatever this problem is that's been dragging them down for years, that they're actually able to fix it? Can you please explain clean it up and those sorts of
Yeah.
things?
Well, when I say clean up, I mean resolve for the person, so it's no longer an issue. Okay, say if for example, a person comes and they have this issue of anger. I get angry and I fly off the handle and sometimes I yell at people I don't want to, whatever that is for them. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the issue is. So just say it's that. So when it's cleaned up, when it's resolved, then that's not something that's happening to the person anymore. And this is very difficult for people to grasp that have been struggling with something for years.
You mean it's
Okay,
not happening? It's like they're not,
it's
they're
not
not
an
angry.
issue
They're
for
not.
them. They don't that doesn't occur anymore for
It's
a
not a
person.
knee-jerk reaction sort of thing.
Right, because and that's it. And it's hard for people to conceive that that can be done, especially if they've been struggling with something for years and they've been told this is going to take a long time and these things, when a person gets something really done, when they resolve it, then it's done. Okay, and you say, well, how can that be? Well, one of the things about these conditions is is every one of them is what I call stuck on, and it's stuck on automatic. All right. Say the person does have some issue with the anger. Okay. Well, it's not something that that when it happens to them instantaneously. And then maybe a split second later, they go, "Oh, why did I do that?" Right? That's something that's automatic. Yeah. And I'll tell you a little story if we have time. It's it's something a phenomenon that my partner and the person who really did my mentor, John Galusha, used to tell this story. And what he would call this phenomena, he called it Haskell's dog, which is kind of funny. And
Okay.
he'd say, well, he had this friend named Haskell, and Haskell had a dog. And Haskell told John that, that dog, my dog, likes to pee on the couch. He just does that. And I've done everything I can to break that dog of that habit of peeing on the couch. But no matter what I do, he keeps doing it. And what occurred to me is that dog is willing not to pee on the couch, but he must. And a little light bulb went off in John's head. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. That's the only thing that's really wrong with people is
So like
Haskell's
a
dog.
person is
The,
willing to
the
not be
person,
angry,
yeah,
but
but he
something
must.
you're right, it's compelling him to do
It's
it.
exactly,
Huh.
exactly. He does it. Now, maybe a split second, and he's in it and he's doing that. But then he comes, well, what did I do that for? Isn't that
Mm,
weird?
mm,
You know.
hmm.
Now we can get into another question of why, how, and why that occurs. But that phenomena of that automatic behavior, that's what we're doing. Is once you clean it up, that comes off automatic, right?
Oh, huh.
That's really all it is. It's kind of like, say, a person comes to me, and I'm using also a John Galusha example.
Uh-huh.
Say a person comes to me, and every time he goes out, here's the issue. Every time he goes outside, he has to count every second story window in town. Well, no bad thing, but he's late for appointments. Girls on dates thinks he's nuts, and he wants this is a bothersome to him. So we take this up, and when it's resolved, cleaned up, it doesn't mean he can't count second story windows if he chooses, and he probably can do it better, but he doesn't have to.
Ah, all right.
And that's it. At the bottom of every one of these issues is that automaticity, is that automatic behavior.
Huh.
And that's basically what we're addressing. And we're able to address that to where it comes off automatic.
Got it. So when those things are stuck, you're just doing them without any control.
Yeah, they call it reacting, but
Oh,
it's more than react. It's automatic.
Mm-hmm.
right? And the person doesn't want it to happen, but it happens. Isn't that weird? If you think about it, it's strange,
Right. Right.
right?
Huh.
So the key is, how do you take it off automatic? That's a different discussion.
Right.
But
Right. Right. Right.
that's what happens when you clean something up and resolve it. They no longer have to do it.
Got it.
And now it's not an issue for them.
And this all can be done within, on
It can
average,
be
a few.
done it can be done very quickly, because I'll tell you a little secret. These things did People think that these things have been instilled in them over years. They have this. No, it's not true. These things occur when they get stuck. They happen in a blink of an eye. That's something that was discovered with Idenics. These things don't take years. Maybe it's been years that the person's been noticing these things and its effects on their life. But where it got started, when it got started in a blink of an eye usually. So why should it take that long to get it off, to undo it, if you know the direction and you know why that happens and what's occurring there in cases.
Right. Right. Interesting. So, so you don't necessarily need years of therapy to get rid of your anger problem or
That's right.
whatever the problem is.
Yeah, and that's why we don't call this therapy, because
Oh,
the whole use of it is the whole application is 180 degrees
right. Right.
different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. It's nothing like anything I've heard of. So, okay. Well, cool. Thank you very much.
Okay.
The